Alright, check there, Mr. 255. Sounding good, man. Got you about 10 over, man. Modulation's out the window. Band's starting to drop off a little bit, man. We're kind of hearing some Australian, a little bit of you guys out your way, man. We just heard you out there, wanted to key up, wave a hand right back at you, man. Appreciate you jumping in there. We're trying to get with 835 out there in Virginia, but I guess you couldn't hear this old radio out in NorCal. Anyways, 255, 73s, man, top and even to you. You got World Radio 9144 out there in NorCal waving. Check 255 West Georgia, man. We got all of that, man. We got all that. We lied, man. We told you you're S10. You're like 15 over right now, man. Definitely blowing smoke out there, man. Dropping the hammer out there on the west side. And you know what? I finally did hear 835 out there. 835, you can hear me out there, rascal. Just wanted to say top and even to you there, Bob. You got your Kumquat Radio 914 out here around Gilroy, California. Wanted to wave a hand for drop out with QRT. That kind of an issue, but you know, being right at this house, vertical side 4 element with a pretty healthy chunk of wattage going his way. All right, check, Bob. We got all that, man. We thought we were getting out, man. We're kind of checking the coax and, get a tune on the radio, man. We thought we weren't getting out to you out there in Virginia. But sounding good, man. Good modulation. Definitely top-notch sounding station there, Bob. 73 is my friend. I'm sure we'll talk at you again down the road, man. I was talking to 255 out there, and he was kind of dropping a hammer on my receive. So we're going to get out of here, man. Band's starting to drop off. We got the beams towards the southwest there, towards down under, man. Australia's starting to boom in out here. So, anyways, Radio 9144, operator Phil, Gilroy, California. We said it. We're down. CQ 508 South Carolina, 508 South Carolina, K677, Sacramento, California. You copy? All right, 508. Yeah, we're hearing a couple of actually we're hearing about 4 or 5 stations coming back to now 144 out there, man. Can't seem to pull no numbers out there, man. That 835 and 255, they're hitting me like 10 over, man. So we kind of pulled them out of the dog pile out there. But those stations out there home for 9144, man, we apologize. Can't seem to pull no numbers out there, man. Everybody kind of keying up on top of each other out there. We're gonna take a standby, man. Crack another cold beer out this way. 73s. Hope everybody had a good weekend out there, man. No doubt about it. World Radio 9144 out here in NorCal, South Bay. We're down. Well, I copied 454 Virginia 610 up here in Idaho. Yeah, we heard a 304, I believe it was out there in the Buckeye, man. I believe it was 304 out in the Buckeye. We heard a couple other stations out there too, man. But we kind of caught them numbers. Kind of hard to get numbers out there. Everybody booming in out there still. We thought conditions were dropping out there, man. We're on the vertical right now. We got the beams the other way there, so we're definitely on this old IMAX 2000 out there, man. But I believe 304 out in the Buckeye, man. Top and evening to you. World Radio 9144 out there in NorCal, South Bay, and we're down. Sounds like some skip coming through. I will stand by. Hello. CQDX 645, Southern Cal. You mud duck.
What's up, Indy?
Next to Spaghetti Island, CQDX 645, Southern Cal.
What's up, Barefoot?
619 Virginia, 619 Virginia, K677, Northern California. How about 000 Canada, 000 Canada, 783 drive? You got the 000, you got 783 Arizona. We hear you loud and clear down here. Yeah, 000. There's a lot of QRM in there, lots of QRM. But yeah, you are getting out down here to Bullhead City area. Well, just hang looking at hello. CQDX 645, Southern Cal. Oh, this Fisher Price radio just never gets out.
I really can't wait until you guys get big radios.
I got a little bit of that, Virginia. I got a little bit of that. 645 Southern Cal, said it. Well, radio 52977. Calling for check. Roger that. 835. My buddy out there, Virginia. 835. Good afternoon. Or should I say good evening. 645 Southern Cal, said it. That's Central. I hear you. 835. Good afternoon or good evening. 645 Southern Cal, 7 and 3. How about that 000, Ontario, Canada. 645 Southern Cal. One more time, Central Alabama. Let me get the calls. K677 back to you. 417 Northern California, standing by. 000. Wow, there's a lot of big boys out there. Anyway, good evening. 645 Southern Cal, said it. Scan a bunch of strong stations out there, but we didn't make a contact. I appreciate it, man. Have a great evening. K677 Northern California.
Hey,
What's going on?
how's it going?
None?
I saw you put the StreamYard down there, but I don't know if you want to listen more.
Well,
okay, too.
I mean, I can have that in the background if that
Okay.
doesn't bother you.
Oh, yeah, I know. I like the sound of it.
I can hear you and it at the same time, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, my husband just left with the kids, so I was like, oh, I can actually come up for a minute.
Oh, right on. That's cool.
Yeah. How's it going? I haven't talked with you in a while.
You know, just trying to make some money, you know, and
Yeah,
I've
I hear that.
been welding and doing that and just trying to make some money to save, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, the ultimate goal is to save up enough money for some property.
Yeah, I was going to ask what's going on with your family's property.
I haven't heard anything mentioned yet,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. Yep, I'm still out of work. I do have a job I'm applying for, but it wouldn't start a teaching job at a private Christian school. And I won't need to be jabbed for it, which is amazing because I haven't been able to find anything around here that will hire, anything without being jabbed.
Right.
So I'm really hopeful that'll work out, but it doesn't start until the fall. So
Right on.
still
Well,
trying to, make ends meet until then.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
still trying to do what I can to, get preps in place and all that jazz.
Yeah, I think, that's it's it just keeps getting faster and faster to that point.
Uh-huh.
it's like I've been talking about this crap for so long, man, on different aspects, man. And I don't know. My mom came over today, and we hung out for a little while, and we actually had a small conversation. But she's an old hippie girl. She doesn't even want to think about it. She's like, it's out of sight, out of mind type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
exist if I don't pay attention to it. Don't think about it. Blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
but the subject did come up, and stuff like that when we were talking about what's going on. And you know, there's some things. It's like, okay, when it comes down to even just here, uh, the corporation in this country calls in itself the government. That's a major part of that NATO, and NATO and the EU is what's pushing what Russia,
Everything.
yeah, pushing a lot of this stuff right now.
Yeah.
All right, and then on top of that, poking that bear, and then also the other one over there in China. All right,
Mhm.
you think about it. If they create a temporary alliance and stuff and gang up, because I mean, here, honestly, man, I start looking at like how the war is being waged over there right now in Ukraine. He's losing a lot of stuff, men and equipment, but he's gaining ground. And like the third
Wait, do
weekend,
you mean Russia or Putin is gaining
yeah,
ground?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Honestly, I've seen I saw, or I should say I saw so much misinformation and just obviously false, like completely fake
right,
info right off the beginning that now I've kind of stopped paying really close attention to that because it's like it's so outside of my realm of control. You know what I mean? That it's like I already feel like I'm just kind of prepping for the worst case scenario as much as I can, and
right.
I don't know. I feel like I don't have the
Well, that's all you can do,
capacity to
honestly.
discern right now.
It's all you can do. I mean,
Yeah.
try and learn from others that have a pretty good idea of what's
Mhm.
going on, or at least like what give you ideas of what could be important in situations and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
you know, I mean, knowledge won't weigh anything. Like you won't have to carry that in a backpack. So knowledge is a big thing when it comes down to prepping. Just knowing how to do certain things, how to take care of yourself, like you've got to cut, so you don't get infected and whatever. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Just plain knowledge is a big asset. And then yeah, stacking food and water as much as you can or whatever, just in case. I mean, even if you
Mhm.
don't, even if nothing happens, let's just say nothing happens. Hell, you got some extra food and water. Who cares?
Yeah, honestly
You
though, even just having what I already have prepped the
Right,
last, probably about I guess it's been like a year and a half that I've been like really, consciously working at it. I mean, and
right,
before that I had nothing. Like we had food on hand for me, like most people I think around here. We had food on hand for like maybe 3 days.
right.
You know what I mean? Like we'd go to the store like what are we going to have for dinner tonight? Let's go pick it up. Like we, really, like it was that bad. So now
Well,
we do have a lot more on hand, but it's like me and my husband and our 2 kids, and we live with my brother. We share a house with my brother and my 2 nieces, and they're kind of like your mom. Like they don't really want to think about it. And like my brother, he picked up like a bag of rice and some sardines and was like, okay, I've got some food on hand. So we're kind of trying to prep. I mean, just the way I am, it's like if shift happens while we're here, it's not like we're not going to be sharing with everybody that's in our household.
yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on what
I know it's
happens.
different for everybody, but
Yeah, I mean, it totally depends on location and what happens, how it happens, or whatever.
mm,
Um, how people around you will respond. That's a big thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you can probably have yourself all calm, cool, collective, or whatever because you're not afraid of it. Let's say you're not afraid of it, but you know what to do when it happens. You got a fucking some kind of a plan of some
Mm.
kind just in case. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking about it. It's like Survival Living did this one when it came down to the fires that was happening here in Panama City, And he mentioned, and I happen to mention it too, but I mean, he mentions, like, for instance, all right, we had those big forest fires and stuff,
Mhm.
damaged a lot of stuff, all right, but a lot of that was squelched because there was helicopters dumping water on it and emergency services and all that stuff. And a shit at the fan, that's not going to be there. That's not coming to dump water on a fire. And if a forest fire starts up and it happens to be heading straight for your house, I mean, bugging out is something that you're going to have to do. You grab what you
Well,
can and go.
exactly. Well, and the other thing is, I mean, we live in the city, so it's like it's not going to be safe to be here if it happens the way I think it will happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You know.
I mean, that was just throwing that. That was just happens to be a scenario. Like, for
Yeah.
instance, if I happen to be in that area where that fire started, which, there was quite a few homes. I don't think anything really got damaged when it comes down to homes, but they were threatened because, if it wasn't for, like, the helicopters dumping water on it and the emergency services doing all this other stuff and blah blah blah, and it kind of kept it kind of sort of contained until they put it out.
Mhm.
That would just would have whenever and went to whatever. I mean, if you're right in the path downwind from that sucker, and you know like, for instance, if the power and you're in public utilities go out, you ain't got no water. You know what I mean? You ain't
Mhm.
got no, nothing to, like, sit there and squirt a hose at it. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
whatever. So, it just happens to be things like that. It's like, because I hear some of these, a lot, people say bugging out's not an option. They're going to be staying bugging in and all that stuff. And I was like, well, yeah, that's good until you can't stay there.
Right.
You know what I mean? For some reason,
Yeah. We have
one,
some, like a kind of primary bug out and then two different secondary like bug out,
right?
options. So,
Well, I mean, have you thought about, like, what if what if not having a vehicle is an option? I mean, if that it came down to the point where you didn't you could not get where you were going in a vehicle. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
roads are blocked or something
I mean, at
happened.
that point we would be bugging in, but we have we have bug out bags. So I mean, if it, like basically our worst case scenario would be if we had to use our bug out bags and leave everything else and just go. We have the
Mhm.
stuff to be able to do that, but that's our absolutely like
Yeah,
last resort.
yeah, the fuck it plan.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
and we
because
already, I mean, if there's like an EMP or something and no vehicles are running, that's one thing. But we also, I mean, we've literally, I mean, I don't want to say things that I can't say on here, but we have some eyes on
what's up,
things we could
Keebler?
grab to get somewhere and up with more stuff than what we can carry
Well,
in
see,
our
that's
vehicles.
the thing. It's
So,
like, if you had to hoof it, like, on foot, like,
yeah,
what could you carry and what would you carry?
not much.
Right?
But yeah, that's definitely our final
Because, I mean,
resort.
that's the thing. It's like, I hear some of these guys, they're all talking about stacking up ammunition and guns and stuff. Well, if it came down to the point where you got to hoof it out on foot, how much of that you going to take?
Right.
I mean, bullets fucking weigh. You know what I mean? A gun, rifle, a couple of rifles, whatever. And ammunition for that, yeah, that weighs some money. That weighs some pounds. What's up, Cabler?
Yeah, Dana was saying that she's been eating off the cups. That's what I was originally going to say. Is even after I haven't been working for what like 8 months now, which was unexpected. I mean, it's not like we prepared for that. We weren't planning for me to not be working this whole time. So we've definitely been using some of our preps, kind of in between, and then restocking when we can, like in between paychecks, and then restocking where we can, and yeah. But I've been grateful to have it.
Right.
We just got we're actually getting today a dehydrator that we found a really good deal on, and I'm really excited for that because I've been wanting to do pressure canning, but those things are expensive, and then all the jars are pretty pricey right now, and so um, I think we're going to do that when we get our tax return. That's our plan, but in the meantime, this dehydrator will be a good way to like you know get some food stocked up.
I've got one. I just haven't used it. I need to.
Really, well,
Yeah. I was doing a job. I was doing at one time um I was cleaning out houses that banks repoed or something like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning out the trash when the people moved and then cleaned up the yard and all that stuff. And one of the houses that I was doing, man, you know how some people they buy an appliance or something like that, probably use it twice, and then they throw it in a cabinet under the
Yeah.
sink. Well, that's what this was, man. There was like a food dehydrator, a food processor,
Nice.
what was it, like a can opener, electric can opener, I think there was a juicer. Looked like brand new stuff that like they just left behind. You know, it
Yeah.
was just like sitting underneath the cabinet and stuff. And I was like, holy crap. And I was like supposed to take all this crap and throw it in a dump or whatever. Dude, I kept that stuff.
No
Like I was
kidding.
like, I'm not throwing that away,
Right?
you know.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like I've got one, but I have not used it yet. I've been meaning to because I got venison in this freezer that I could just sit
Oh,
there and start
that's
making some jerky or something
you
out of it.
definitely. Yeah.
I mean,
I had one. My mom had one that I used before. Um, and I love it. I mean, I love it. Jerky, homemade jerky is like the best. That's
yeah.
what I want to make first, but I
What's
think I'm
up,
gonna
broken
do some
patriot?
like fruit right off the bat, get
Well,
some
that too.
bananas and
That
apples
too.
and yeah,
Exactly.
because I
Because I
mean,
mean, also that's another thing too. Because I mean, I've been growing these onions, all right, and I
mhm,
basically just chop the leaves off like scallions or whatever. All right, I was sitting there thinking, I
mhm.
was like, I can dry that, like as like dry herbs and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I got parsley growing out here, so I mean, I can do that too. I
Well,
just
I've heard
haven't sat down.
you can dry seeds also, which I haven't. I need to look into more about how you do that. You know,
Right?
I'm guessing it's different kinds, but
What's up,
anyway, yeah,
Ranger?
I'm really excited to start learning more about that. Fruit leather, that's another thing you can make. And then I was Tiger. Do you know Tiger, Tyger? She's
Okay.
awesome, but she was sharing a bunch of information about about dehydrating, which kind of gave me a kick in the pants to finally get one and do it. But she does eggs and cheese, and then you can grind them in like a coffee grinder to make powder and store them in mason jars.
Right.
So, and the last, I mean, I don't know about eggs because she said they're kind of oily, but they can last a long time. And I've heard people saying like strawberries, like any fruit or vegetables that are really, completely dehydrated and stored can last for years.
Right. Well, I
So
mean, yeah,
that's
I
pretty
guess
cool.
in a like a cool dark place, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I mean, sunlight will definitely do a lot of damage. That's why some
Yeah.
some of the old I've seen like colored glass for different things works really good, like
Like
just in case,
the
yeah,
brown glass is
to keep
best. Mm-hmm.
the light from damaging the food inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I know a few of these things. See, that's another thing too. It's like making that pemmican that
Mm-hmm.
um,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
using meat and like berries and stuff. Like it's almost like a like preservative. But just making that, I've been meaning to do that. Like I said, I can get deer meat a lot. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
easy, man. Because I got uncles and stuff that go
That's
hunting.
cool,
I can
barefoot.
always, you know what I mean. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of that hunting myself. I mean, but I got family that do all the time, and
I can
I
send you a link to a. I mean, I'm sure you can probably find it, but I found a pemmican. I found
right,
a
right,
pemmican YouTube video that had a lot of good reviews on it, and people said it was one of the best recipes or whatever for pemmican.
right.
So
Well,
I have not made it, but
there is a book that I want to get, and I've been meaning to do it. But it's a book. It's called The Lost Ways, and it's got that recipe in it too. But a lot of other stuff in it. I want to
yeah.
get, and it's got a lot of really good information. I've got another book that's similar to that, but
Mhm.
that one happens to have more or different information that the other one doesn't. I got another one that's kind of like that. It's like it just has a lot of old ways of like making just different stuff like farm equipment or whatever, blah blah blah, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Um, it's just a
Um, I think I want to say the name is Tom Brown, but I'm not certain that that's correct. But Camo Carl gave a recommendation for some books by, I think, Tom Brown. And if I go, I'm on my phone, so if I go off of it, then I'll lose the call, but or the StreamYards call, But I can send it to you later. But I looked up a bunch of his books on Amazon. He has a lot of really great info, and Camo Carl is like very knowledgeable about a lot of stuff. And so when
Right.
he said this was one of his favorite, kind of like resource books, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make note of that. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, um, yeah, because I mean, I've got a few different books that I've got sitting aside. One of these days I need to make a bookshelf, because I just got them scattered around in different spots and
hmm
stored away. But I've got a lot of different stuff. I've got some on like different like woodland medication, how to identify plants,
yeah, I've got a couple books.
stuff like that. You know what I
hmm
mean? Especially for my area, which I'm pretty familiar with what's around me when it comes down to plant life. It's just knowing which ones are like edible, for instance, or knowing which ones are good for certain medicines and what,
Right.
da 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 da.
Yep.
Because um, I'm just trying to get an idea of like especially like where I am or where I may be, depending on where if I happen to be in somewhere else, what's
hmm
going to be around me. You know what I mean? Because that's the first thing
Yeah.
I'm going to do is going to hit the woods of something. I mean, I've got different ideas around the country, for instance, when it comes down to it. Depending on where I'm at in the country, there's different places around where I'm going to go to the woods, and I know exactly where I'm going to go. If I'm not, if hopefully I'm the first one there,
Right.
because I mean, there's some places that other people know about too, but it would be an awesome spot,
Yeah.
but that's another thing too. Depending on what happens, all right, because I mean, it's going to take a few days for it really to sink in for a lot of people. All right,
Yeah.
and then they'll freak out. All right, but the people that are actually paying attention when they see it happen, they know what's going on, and then they can go and do what they need to do and get it done. All right, that's the kind of thing. It'll have a head start when it comes down to a lot of people, especially if you had to make a move and you actually had to leave where you're at and go somewhere else. At least you would be able to get around whatever city that might be in the way without having a whole lot of problems. Because like the later it gets into the problem,
The
the
harder
more
it'll be to
problems,
travel.
yeah, yeah, to get around cities
hmm
or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Is I feel like we'll be able. I honestly, I think I'm gonna talk with the people who's our first bug out. I want to talk with them soon. We've been trying to get a time to meet up with them, but I think I'm
right,
gonna start seeing about bringing some stuff over to their place soon. You know, just the more long term stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then, but if we can, my thought is that we would get there as soon as we know things are going south, get to that place, and then from there we'd be going with them, to the secondary location. So,
right.
you know best laid plans and all, who knows how it'll all play out if it comes down to
That's the
that. But
thing. Yeah, because life always gets in the way, depending on no matter
yeah.
how you like plan things. That's just
Yep.
my experience anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care how well or how whatever. I mean, it's not like the movies where you can plan something out like a big old freaking heist, every detail all the way through, and everything's
Well, and
right on the money kind.
if it's something like martial law or something where they're gonna not allow people to travel, you
That's
know
the reason why I
then
throw that thing in there. If there's not
right.
a way option of a vehicle, when it comes down to you would have to do it on foot. All right, and then you got to decide on what you're going to take, how much of it, all that stuff, and where you're going to go from there because you're on
Yeah.
foot.
I know
All right,
people who have been
that's if you have to
getting.
leave. Bugging in is probably the best option for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until you have to leave, but you always got to have that idea. Well, it's like, okay, if I do got to leave, if this happens to happen, the worst case scenario happens, where am I going? What am I doing?
Right. Yep.
What am I taking? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Um,
Isn't it
that's
crazy the times we live in? You know what I mean? Like
dude. I'm
it's
telling you,
just
man. It's
crazy.
like, yeah. I mean, but the thing is like, because we have the communications for longer distances, when things
I know.
went
I need to
went
get on my.
down. Well, when things went down back in the day, A lot of people were oblivious until it was like, a week or two into it. You know what I mean? They didn't know what was going on. You know what I mean?
I mean, I
Uh,
kind of hope that's what happens this time too. It'd be nice to be in the know a week or two before everybody else, but I don't think that's gonna. I don't know.
well, I mean, if you keep an eye, like for me personally, it's just trying to keep track of events happening, and it's like, how's that fitting in the piece of puzzle? It's gain ground. Like I said, like for
Yeah.
instance, on the scenario, what Putin's doing. All right, you're looking at the amount of like tanks and stuff like that that he's lost so far, and then also the manpower that he's lost so far, and then when it comes down to resupply and all this other stuff, when it comes down to logistics, and you know what I mean, he's not really showing that he, all right, he, he's not really showing that he's got a certain things. But the thing is, in 3 weeks in, he's gained ground the whole damn time, even though all the stuff on the opposite side from the NATO and all this stuff from in the Ukraine fighting back and all
Mhm.
that shit because of all the stuff that the hell even the U.S. government is giving them weapons like these big rocket launchers and drones and shit like that. You know what I mean? As part of their help. So I mean, it's like even though that they've had a lot of stuff destroyed and a lot of people killed, they've gained ground, and it's the same thing. It's like what's going on in a worldwide scenario. Also, things are getting, they might not. Doesn't look like they're losing a lot out of it, but they're getting further and further deeper in the hole. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And because it's like okay, it's like what just recently, like Biden, announced that he's putting more sanctions on them. Well, that to Putin, that's an act of war, just putting a sanction on him in the first place, and then on top of that, piling more on top of them, and then on top of that, I started thinking about it because somebody else made this point, and I kind of like started looking into that, and I was like, well, this shit, he's got a freaking point when it comes down to like. When it comes down to the petrodollar, the stuff that that the
Mhm.
American, that kind of crap. All right. When other countries or other dictators or whatever decided they were going to just say screw the petrodollar and do their own currency, the U.S. government would assassinate them, kind of like Gaddafi and what was this down in Cuba, the what's his name,
Castro.
Castro, yeah, because they were trying to move to their own currency. They got assassinated. Well, Putin has announced now because
Right.
when it comes down to fuel. But they're also a big leader that when it comes down to Ukraine and Russia, when it comes down to wheat, but right at the moment when it comes down to fuel, all like unfriendly countries that want to buy fuel from them, they have to pay for it in Russian rubles, not petrodollar any longer. Well, that is right there. The
Mhm.
petrodollar Ponzi scheme wants to
Yeah,
stay
I
alive and
agree, Keebler.
valid, and they're going to try and probably snuff him out.
Yeah, but doesn't it seem like the U.S. is forced? I mean, that's what. I mean, I think that's what the new world order, which Biden has announced we are officially in, which we already
Right.
knew,
Yep.
that's what they want anyway. So it's that
Right.
whole two sides, two
Yep.
sides of the coin or two
Right.
heads of the same eagle or whatever. It's like, I
Well,
think they're,
yeah.
I don't, most people, I don't think agree with me, but I've said this for a very long time. I think they are literally all in it together. I think it's all a big show. It's
Well, like
war
the head.
games.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it almost kind of reminds me of like a Game of Thrones type of scenario. You got all these idiot
Maybe.
rich kids, or whatever, in each one of these freaking countries. You know what I mean? That you think about it. It's like okay, I don't know, man. Even
I
in
mean,
this
yeah, I don't
country,
know.
it's like a lot of these people that get into it. It's like they were bred to be put in there. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's almost the same thing as like king and queen scenario. Even I don't know, man. Um, this illusion of choice too. That's another thing people just need to get really freaking open up and see is this illusion of choice.
Mhm.
Like Republican, Democrat, this like left right paradigm crap. That's just a uh, Larkin Rose on YouTube did a awesome video on a story, and it was about the Jones plantation, and it was perfect, exactly how like modern day on a massive scale is played out. It's the same thing as a plantation. All right. Well, on this story, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but in this
No.
story, um, I can't play it, but I'm on a cell phone. But anyway, on this story, all right, you got this plantation master, whatever, he wanted to learn how to, kind of keep everybody in line and all this other stuff. Well, um, he brought this guy in that has this foolproof plan, and well, he came in and told everybody that they're now free people now. All right, and they're able to do whatever and all this other stuff, but they're gonna be, they're welcome to stay there, because if they were to wander off, some other slave master might snatch them up, and it might be worse than where they're at now. So it's just, you might as well just stay here and kind of work the plantation. You'll be part owners of the plantation, as they said, and all this other stuff. And then well, they kind of like, hornswoggled them into it, and made them, basically consent to it. A little along down the line, um, um, it was the main plantation guy was like getting tired of it, so he brought a cousin of his to come in and take over for a few months out of the year or something like that, and give him a break or whatever. And it got down to the point where it's like, they gave this illusion of choice. It's like, would you like so and so master, or would you like his cousin? And you have the freedom to do this and stuff like that. And we'll
Right.
even, you know what I'm saying? It's the same goddamn thing. You know what I mean? It's just on a
Yeah.
massive scale. And then it's just different things. It's like I was sitting there talking to them guys over in the UK, and and Joe over there in Scotland. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? It's like, okay, you think about like how big the states are in the United States, and then you look at the actual size of these countries, like over in Europe, like the UK and Ireland, Scotland. They're about the size of freaking states, all right. And these are whole freaking countries and kingdoms. Technically, each state is its own country, our own
Yeah.
sovereign nation in a sense, all
Mhm.
right. But the way you know,
It's not the way people think about it, though.
No, but
That's the part of the
you
problem.
give it another like 400 or 500 years, it'd be exactly the same thing as it is over there. It'll look the same. Each state will have its own little, basically, it would be considered its own country. It won't be
I
united.
don't think it'll even take that long. I mean, I think we're headed that direction pretty quickly. And
Well, I mean,
legally,
it's
from what
to
I
get rid of the
understand,
federal government altogether, because I mean, honestly, that's what's trying to fucking bring the whole everybody in the states,
right.
which is supposed to be the more superior power. The states have the power
Mhm.
over the federal government. They've tried to
Yes.
flip flop that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
absolutely. Well, that's from what I understand from people who I think understand the Constitution a lot better than I do. The states do, they already are basically their own countries.
yeah.
Um, even though they're not called that,
All right.
you know
See,
what I mean?
we the
We're already
people.
there. We just don't recognize it that way.
That's right, because they've fucked with our heads over generations. All right.
Yeah.
But the thing is like,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Only the sovereign gives authority to the so-called quote unquote government. All right. And each person is born sovereign. That is our gift from God. We're born sovereign. All right.
Mhm.
And when they say a sovereign nation or a sovereign state, that is the general the people as a whole in that area makes the sovereign nation, because we are the sovereign of that nation. That is the nation, or the that landmass, that's considered the nation as a whole. All right. And
Mhm.
because I mean, even the state, that's a different language also. The state is a different scenario too. um, but yeah, and but they've tried to reverse that to where the state is the sovereign, or the government, quote unquote, is the sovereign.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And those are,
Yeah.
and
Do
we are just like the serfs, or the, the peasants of the sovereign, because that's how the monarchies, in a sense, they consider them the sovereign, and the rest of the people that live there, like for instance in the UK, are just nothing but the peasants under the sovereign.
Right.
All right, that's how they played that shit out, because they consider how it all started back in the day when it comes down like the queen or whatever, all that family lineage all the way back. So they supposedly believed that that person that claimed to be king or queen or whatever had a direct 1-800 hotline to freaking God. And that's why they were like, oh my gosh, we must bow down and do whatever he says. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Or it was like somebody that was a really tough guy, and you know it beat everybody's ass, and just like everybody kissed his ass ever since. You know what I mean? And then
Mm-hmm.
some people it's like, well, shit, man, I kiss his ass. He fucking feeds me, gives me a place to sleep, gives me clothes. Hell, he gave me a sword. Now I get to go out here and kill people for him and take their damn gold. Hell yeah, dude. Hell, we got those
Yeah.
same people today.
Well, and I mean, we think of it, as that we're so different here in the US, but how many families are there that have been in control for how long?
I know. That's what I was saying. I was sitting there talking to some guys over there. I was like, yeah, man. It's like, we've had it here in this country for about a little over 300 years. You guys have had it for about 1,000 or more.
Mm-hmm.
Had that same all the way back to the Romans and whatever. You know what I mean? It's always been, I don't know exactly how, further back than that, what it was like, you know what I mean? But um, it's just,
So, what do you think? I mean, when you're looking at like the big picture, not just Russia and Ukraine, but the whole new world order, who do you think that they're winning, so to speak? I mean, I've heard both sides that, yeah, they're winning, and I've heard, no, they're panicking because they know their time is almost up. What are
well,
your thoughts on that?
I think in a way, see, okay, check this out. My gut tells me this, that that they will unleash chaos. That's part of the plan, is to unleash chaos on the planet, and their plan is to kill off majority of the population.
Mm-hmm.
All right, of the planet, not just in one country, just in the whole freaking planet. But the problem is, my gut tells me that that chaos that they think they can create order out of will turn on them and envelop them. That's what my gut tells me. So, in my in a way, they're a lot of people is gonna yeah, it's gonna get bad.
Yeah,
um,
that's pretty much where I'm at too.
well, I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the thing. It's like, because it is gonna happen. Because I mean, they're setting the stage now.
Yeah.
They're even setting the stage for red flag events to happen. I mean, they're already setting the stage. They're gonna try and, like, if something was to blow up here in this country somehow, I'm not, no pun intended, but I'm just saying, if something was to happen here in this country, the first thing they're gonna do is blame it on Putin. All right, even if
Oh
it
yeah,
was
they're definitely set that
manufactured
up.
and done on purpose by our own people.
Yeah.
All right, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They're already
definitely do.
setting the stage. They're already setting the stage for that to happen.
Well, and my
And a
worry
lot
is
of
it seems
big
like they're,
wars were started with lies, like weapons of
yeah.
mass destruction type of that. And remember that one? That's
Yeah.
like a recent one, So I mean, you're young
And
enough
all
to
through history, we've almost, isn't it pretty much every war has been started by lies
pretty
or
much,
false attacks, that
pretty
were,
much, yeah,
right?
pretty
Yeah.
much. I mean, um,
The
yeah,
fact that
and
our entire mass media machine immediately pushed pro Ukraine, anti Russia, and has this narrative that they're clearly pushing.
right,
This is part of the plan. There's
right.
no, I don't feel like there's any denying that, if you're paying attention. I don't know if you saw the comment. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, I think it scrolled up too far, but Somebody gave a place to find information.
Yeah, what was it, Keebler, I think.
I think so. I screenshotted it actually so I can go look it up later because it wasn't someone I'd heard of, but I can't get to. Oh, here we go. Oh no, nope, I can't see it anymore. Anyway, and then also I had said that I'd heard you could dehydrate seeds, and Sustainable Steward said don't do that. It's bad for them. So in case anyone's
Yeah,
listening
where when
and
it
not
came
looking
down,
at the chat,
yeah, when
don't
it came
dehydrate
down to
seeds.
the, yeah, to the heat, destroying the,
The
yeah,
germination rate, they said.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the only thing that I've always known how to do is basically if I was getting it out of something, for instance, a fruit or whatever, what
Oh, thank you,
all
Keebler.
I know how to do is just dry it out and then I'll you know, but I do that by just air drying it. That's all I do.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of like, let it dry out on its own, like, I put it on a screen or something like that where it just air dry. And then,
Yeah.
and then from there, just put it in whatever. Like most of the time, I just put it in like a paper envelope or something like that. But, I mean, because I save seeds like watermelon seeds. I've been saving like bell pepper, like green bell peppers, because I eat a lot of that too. And
Mm-hmm.
then what was the other? There's another one too. I was saving, but I want to try and get lettuce and stuff like that. Not necessarily iceberg lettuce, but all kinds of stuff like romaine and all this other stuff. I want type of lettuce. I want to get stuff like that going. Um, but it's a matter of like I have to put everything in pots and then keeping it away from deer and my dogs. You
Right.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's the problem right now.
Yeah. We don't have a big yard, and it's not ours. I mean, it's my. We like I said, we rent like basically like a basement apartment from my brother, and it's a yard big enough to do a little bit of gardening, but he does some stuff, and we just don't really have a good place that we can like take over to garden. But we um, a little hydro, like a little, I think it's called an aero garden or hydro. Anyways, a little hydro uh, ponics system. So
right,
we have the stuff we're going to start up here soon, some with a little grow light. So at least while we have power, we can grow some tomatoes and some romaine and a couple other. We got some herbs, things like that we can do just inside. And then we have like a little, because we're a basement, so we have like one little windowsill, but we do have a windowsill, and I think we're going to try to do some sprouts because I've heard they're actually really good for microgreens and, something we can do just in the space we have.
right.
But that's another reason because we don't have the ability to like, we can't. I would love to get rabbits or chickens, and I'm trying to convince my brother, but I don't think it's going to happen. Um, but I would love to be able to do that, but we just really can't. So right now I'm like, okay, that's why I feel like my best bet. I can get some stuff and stock it up because we're not going to be able to really do much um, to grow our own.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, I'm
I
sure
mean,
if shit hits the fan, then we'll be able to plant the seeds we have in the garden. You know what I
well, see,
mean?
that's
But
another
like,
thing too. It's like I mean, I don't spend enough time out there in gardening in a sense to kind of.
yeah,
That's another thing too. I mean, I've got some things that I've gotten to grow year round, so I don't have to replant it. That's one of the things I'm trying to figure out how to do is like actually get stuff that 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 I like and I can sustain and it will last through the winter and I won't have to replant it. You know what I mean? It'll be
hmm
bigger and hardier and I could probably like take clippings off that and start new ones somewhere else and that kind of thing. That's the idea I want to do. Because I mean, even bushes like like strawberries, dude. Once that just goes, it's good. It just grows you make a big ass bush if I let it go,
yeah.
which I haven't done. But I mean, there's stuff like that, like berries. Um, let's see
Well, if you
here.
do that, then you should get your dehydrator out, and that way you can,
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. It's like
eat some fresh and
I want to
store
get
some away.
something going to where it gets acclimated to the area or whatever, where I don't have to keep everything in pots, and I can have it
Mm-hmm.
like where it will grow like actually like part of my landscaping at the same time. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
want it to grow like a bush, like natural, or whatever, and last through the winter. And where I don't have to keep replanting or I want something that's going to be hardy like that anyway. So I'm trying to find different things that I can, especially right now, like I said, right now because I got nothing but sand out here, so I have to put everything in pots to even start anything. But eventually, I want to be able to get it to where it's hardy enough where I can transplant it and put it in the ground, and it will go from there. And then what I
Hmm.
mean. Um,
Yeah, that is one thing I think I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna try to do potatoes in like a 5-gallon bucket,
mhm.
and and just kind of do the like a little bit of container gardening. I think I could do that.
Well, I
You know
mean,
what I mean? And just have
that's the thing. It's
something.
just a matter of sitting down and doing it. That's another thing too. I see these things
Hmm.
where these people put these like little tiny micro gardens in the window seals and shit, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean. I mean, I
Yeah.
should do stuff like that, but I don't. I haven't. You know what I mean? My mom's starting to do like little microgreens. She's like get like an egg carton and start up like microgreens and that stuff.
Hmm.
It's like once you cut it and you eat it and put it in your salad or whatever, you got to start all over again. That's the only thing about that. But that's
Yeah.
really good. Oh man, I
Well,
like
that's what I
microgreens.
heard. Sprouts. Like I have
Right,
to look into it more, but I've heard sprouts are good for microgreens,
right.
and they grow like in a matter of days. It's
Yep,
like, you can, it's a
yeah.
quick turnaround.
And I'm gonna tell you something, man. In a salad or like instead of lettuce, putting that on a sandwich, dude, it's so
Hmm.
good.
Yeah,
It's
they're
good
really
for you.
nutritional.
Yep,
Hmm.
yep.
Yeah, I mean, my main focus is my kids, so that's where I'm like, we've bought a bunch of, like multivitamins to have on hand for the
Well,
kids. Right
yeah.
now, I mean, they get everything they need from their food, really. So I'm not like so worried about it right now. But once there's less variety, that we're available to buy and
Well,
feed
that's another
them,
thing too. Let me ask you,
then
like, when's the
yeah.
last time you've been to the grocery store, or the dollar store, or whatever, and went shopping for food and stuff like that? When's the last time you did that?
My husband actually does most of our grocery shopping because
Okay.
I'm with the kids like 24/7.
All
So when
right.
he takes them out, like right now, when he takes them out shopping, that's like my break.
Oh, right on.
But
No, I
so,
was wondering
but
because I
what
was
did he?
wondering what it looked like in the stores. Because I mean, for me
Okay, yeah, I was
personally,
gonna ask. So I
yeah.
always ask him, and I mean, we go out like we do to Costco shop and stuff. And right now, it's been like this for a while here. We don't really see shortages so much
Hmm.
as like there'll be a certain like if we're looking for a specific item, it might be gone, or the brand we're looking for might be gone, but they'll have other brands.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or I like for a while, some paper products like paper towels or toilet paper were gone from Costco for like a long period of time. You know what I mean? Like it'd
Okay.
be a while before we could find paper towels, but now they're back, but they had other brands. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it hasn't been there really hasn't been a time where we couldn't find anything. And when you go, it's not like some places around the country where I've seen where it's like empty shelves. I'm not seeing that here yet at all.
Okay.
Which is weird because I'm hearing about it almost everywhere else, it seems.
Well, I
Um,
mean,
I don't
like
know.
for instance, I was gonna say here's like in the dollar store, for instance, like in canned foods, like where you like the bean weenies and
Hmm.
the little sausages and all that kind of stuff is. Like when the truck comes in and you got full shelves and all that stuff, but about 2 or 3 days into it, it's like next thing you know, a lot of that stuff empties out. So by Friday, it's pretty much that whole section is pretty much emptied out, in a way. And then
Yeah.
it's empty until the truck comes in the next time, and but I've been noticing that recently. And then the damn gas prices, like there's
Yeah.
one
Gas
store,
is
yeah, it's
crazy.
419 at this one store, and I think that's the cheapest thing I can find because you go down the road to these other ones and they're like dollar, what is it, 429,
It got
and
over 5 here for like maybe a week. And then it went down to like 480 something and it went down to 460. So it's gone down. And I
okay,
think last I looked was a few, maybe 3 days ago, and it was like 469. So
yeah. Air
I
dry
don't know.
fruit
But I mean, it changes
seeds,
like day to day.
vegetables, best way. Yeah, air dry fruits, vegetables, lettuce, easiest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. See, that's another thing too. Even the grocery stores are like at that just-in-time type of delivery. You know what I mean? Just in time
Yeah.
for the shelves to be empty. That's
I've
when the truck comes in. You know what I
You
mean?
know what I've noticed though? First of all, shrinkflation for sure. And just random items I'll notice.
Right.
Like this is a random one, but we get my kids love like string cheese.
Hmm.
And the string cheese, it's like it used to be the full package, like each string filled up the each little tube of cheese was like the whole
Right.
plastic part almost,
Right.
there'd be like a
Right.
little gap at the top. Now it's like an inch and a half gap on one end. Like it's just smaller.
Yeah, I
And
remember when
then
like the foot long at fucking Subway was $5, and it wasn't even quite a foot long, and now it's up to
yeah.
10. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. But I mean, random things. And then like it might just be the ones we got. But like I said, paper towel, we use a lot of paper towel. And the paper towel, it was like noticeably thinner. Like the same brand. It's Kirkland Signature. I don't know if we just got like a off, batch, but it's like it's really thin. Like we went from one of the older ones we had to a new package and compared, and it's extremely thin compared to what it was. So I
Right.
think there's a lot of that going on. But then oh, what was the other thing I was going to say? Something else.
Well, I've noticed that on potato
Inflation.
chips. You know, same thing with potato chips. You get a
Oh
bag of
yeah.
potato chips, and it's like
Mhm.
half full if it's chips. You know what I mean? The rest
Yeah.
of it's air. Um,
I mean, one thing I've okay, so we have the canned
where'd you go, Indy? You dropped out. Where'd you go?
It was gone for that was one thing that was gone for a really long time, like for months. We couldn't find it there. I mean, it's possible it would come in and others bought it out or something, but there was not even like a place it should be. Like it was just gone for months. And now it's there. And I don't remember what it was before those months that it was gone, but it's now like $19 for 4 cans of roast beef,
Oh yeah, right.
you know?
Yep.
Are you still there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. So I'm going to try going out and coming back in. I think it's because I got a call. I'll be
Oh,
back in a sec.
right on. Yeah, no worries. But anyway, yeah, it's been pretty freaking crazy, man. And the thing is, man, with all the sanctions and stuff too, along with that, man, next thing you know, China starts messing around with Taiwan and all that, and they want to get involved with that. Next thing you know, sanctions against that. That's another act of war against China, an act of war against the two big guys and stuff like that. That may just all of a sudden decide to, you know, temporary team up, and you know, that kind of thing. Um, it won't be good, man. And, arrogant little fuckers in the New World Order think they can do something. Poking the bear isn't gonna start. I'm telling you, man. And like I said, this is one of the ways of depopulation, especially if Putin. I mean, not if stuff happens and stuff like that, and then next thing you know, Biden's even thinking about like probably even redoing the draft. Oh, that's just another way of throwing a bunch of bodies at it, man. Yeah, get a bunch of these millennials out here that are scared to even look at a gun, and then throw them out there on the front lines. Yeah, we'll see how that works out, where it kills off a little bit more of these people on the planet. I mean, seriously. I mean, let's see, what was it? I feed 100 families off small places. Yeah, right. It can be done. It's just, it's a matter. I'm not really a gardener. I can do other stuff, but I need to figure it out where I can at least, you know, supplement, like if, because I can't always rely on hunting and trapping and fishing and stuff like that. So I got to do something else also. So I'm just trying to figure out how I can do it on my end, but I'm not necessarily a gardener. So I mean, anyway. Well, I mean, I just think it's funny though because I heard Biden was actually praising, all the Ukrainian civilians out there, fighting back and all that good stuff, and then it's like the same freaking paragraph he's all like talking about gun control and all this stuff here in this country where it wants to like basically outlaw us having our own weapons and shit. I was like, you fucking asshole. Um, I mean, I mean, these fuckers, man. Um, they don't want us to defend ourselves, man. They're scared of us because they know they're not going to be able to show their face out in public again, man. Because when everybody wakes up to the bullshit they've done to us all our lives, you know what I mean? I mean, little old ladies just sit there and take pock shots at them and shit out there in the fucking streets and shit. They'll be out there with damn fucking revolvers. You fucking asshole! You did this to my family. I mean, they're fucking no shit, dude. I mean, it's gonna happen. And people who have like, they get down to the point where, I mean, literally, I mean, it'll probably get down to that point in some areas for sure, where people have lost everything, man. They've lost their home, they lost their family, they've lost everything. They got nothing left to lose. Well, you know, what's the point of living in? And some people will start this idea of like, well, fuck it, man. Revenge. Why should these people that created this whole fucking scenario and this whole problem get away with it? Vigilante revenge for good. You know what I mean? Because violence can be used for good. And I mean, thing is, man, I think these people, these people that are like in the Bilderberg group and the fucking World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab and fucking, all these people that think they know better than the rest of us and they think they can do whatever. Um, hey, Black Spring, shoot, I didn't even see you in there until just now. Hey, what's up going on? Yeah, but. Well, the neighbor on neighbor scenario, that's what I've actually been trying to actually bring people to not necessarily be scared of, but it's a reality that you got to think about. You know what I mean? Especially if you don't know your neighbors. I mean, and I cannot say that I know all my neighbors around me in my area where my house is, like good enough to know them, like what kind of people they are and what kind of if they're even thinking about any kind of like a prepping scenario or anything like that. There's a few of them I don't know anything about. So there's always that question, um, because I started thinking about it. It's like, okay, people were getting you know, it was getting kind of bad after about a couple of weeks without any power when the hurricane came through. So, I mean, I started thinking about it. It's like, okay, well, what if the power was out and all that shit was still down and for, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 weeks or more, what people would, be going through. You think by the third or fourth week, people start freaking out. You know what I mean? They start like, holy shit, and demanding, powers that be fix it and all that other kind of shit. And you think about it, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks down the line, still the same, dude. Yeah, those neighbors that you wave to every so often, but you don't really know a lot about. They might be desperate, and they might want to come and get your stuff. You know what I mean? And depending on how desperate they are, they might be willing to take your life to take your stuff. So it's the being like aware of your surroundings and also having some kind of an idea what you're willing to do for your life, your family, like even your property. Even that's not worth a life in a way, but I mean, if it's like in a sense, if your stuff is what's going to save your life and then somebody's willing to steal your shit, I mean, and that would basically in a sense that would commit you to a death sentence if they took your stuff. Well, that's not possible. I mean, because I mean, honestly, I'm ready to protect myself, and if my family is depending on all that stuff will be protected just as much as my life. Because that is my life. All right, and so in a situation, you know what I mean. It's just depending on how people are gonna. Yeah, zombies. That's a whole nother scenario. I mean, they're probably not going to come for your stuff. Other people get desperate enough, they will come for your stuff. But zombies is a whole nother level, you know what I mean? Because I mean that's a very possible thing with all this genetically modified crap and all these fucking biochemical places out here. You never know what the fuck might happen to pop out of this shit on accident. I mean, all these freaking horror movies and stuff. A lot of this can be, very well possible to happen. What's up, Snooks? I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? But I mean, it's just that's one of them things, man. And then having some kind of an idea, if that was to happen, it's basically preparing your mind and your soul for that moment if it was to come to that craziness to happen. But I mean, just you know, everyday average people that get desperate, that could be just as bad as zombies. You know what I mean? So I mean, desperate people will do desperate things. And like I said, if like that person down the street has got a family and got kids to feed and they ain't got no food and they're all like, Daddy, 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 I need some food. Daddy's like, well, shit, man. Maybe my neighbor over there's got something over there I can get. You know what I mean? And depending on how desperate he is, man, to feed his family, he might be willing to take your life to take your shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what the thing is too. It's like, on even like on the prepping scenario, I mean, that could be just like the grocery store for people that really didn't fucking prep for shit. you know, because I mean, I know people out there that's their whole plan. They're not prepping for shit, dude. Their whole plan is to take your stuff. That's their whole plan. When it all goes down, fuck prepping for this shit. We don't need to fucking go out there and spend all this money and stack food up and all that shit. We ain't got to do that. We're just gonna go around and steal everybody else's shit. That's their whole plan. So I mean, you got to keep that idea, there are people out there that are going to do that, and then knowing what you're going to do in response if they come to you. Um, I don't know. But like I said, it's not something to be scared of. It's something to actually just think about and prepare yourself and have a plan. Because if you're ready for it in a sense, and you're not and you were expecting it and not being surprised, you know what I mean? The outcome will be much better. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to the situation happening. And yeah, so I mean, it's just one of them things, dude. So what do you think about it, Autumn? I mean, you got some kind of a plan? If I mean, when it comes down to bugging in and bugging out, I mean, because I mean, I understand bugging in and kind of hunkering down is probably one of the best ideas, which for most people it is their only idea. But if you got into a situation where you could not stay at home and you had to go somewhere else, you had no choice into that. Um, and and then there's also that situation where if you had no other option and you had to leave your house and go somewhere else and you did not have a vehicle, you had to do it on foot. Um, that have you actually even thought about and like what you would take and what you would carry and if you were in that situation? Because I mean, there is a possibility natural disasters happen or whatever would happen. You know, um, right on, right on. It's just it's just the idea, man. It's like there's all this stuff that's happening right now. It's like all this stuff is crapping all around the fucking world right now. Like I said, a lot of this is a lot of it's being set up, and so like I said, they're kind of setting a stage right now, even for red flag events to kick off, to kind of like blame this and that. Because I mean, seriously, like when the towers went down, I mean, you got the Patriot Act, and then you got Homeland Security that kicked in and stuff like that. Can you imagine if some kind of crap they blame it on freaking Putin and all this stuff and lock everybody down in the freaking country for some odd reason or whatever and all? Can you imagine what kind of laws and policies or whatever and statutes and all that stuff will get kicked in then? It'd probably be worse than the damn Patriot Act and freaking Homeland Security and all this other shit. I mean, you see how TSA was. Can you imagine like flying a plane? I mean, I mean, if something was to kick off, I mean, for real, you know. Well, I'm gonna tell you, but like explain, I'm gonna tell you, when it comes down to it, check it out. Um, it's another thing I was talking about. I mean, yeah, you can have like food and water and medication and a way to protect yourself and enough of that, or whatever. And then, but one of the main things when it comes down to prep is basically just knowledge, of different things, and like for instance, like knowledge of how to grow food or whatever, or start a fire or whatever. See, that stuff, it doesn't, you know, it won't weigh you down in a backpack. That stuff will be up in your head. You know what I mean? So just little things. It's like that was what I was talking about. Indy on a lot of stuff. It's like just learning on like I was like I got a dehydrator, and doing some of that and getting actually doing it and whatever and like I was wanting to learn how to do different other stuff, you know what I mean, and I'm just learning that, so I have that knowledge. If it ever happened come down to that point, well, it's like hell, I know how to do that. Or like I got a book on like how to recognize like leaves from different plants, recognize plants and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like, going in my area and like trying to recognize what they are. And it's kind of hard for me to memorize the freaking names and stuff. But I mean, knowing what they are and, if they're edible or not edible or whatever, da 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 da, just in my area, if it happens to be that way. Or what's a good for a medication, like, if I had a headache, what would be good to take for a headache, or whatever. And um, I don't know. It's one of them things, man. It's like, because I wish I knew when, but it just feels so damn close when it's going to happen. It just feels so damn close. Anyway, and I've been watching a lot of these damn all these auditors, all these first amendment auditors, cop watchers and stuff. I'm watching all these guys, man. It's like I see it over and over and over and over and over again when it comes down to cops and the mentality they have and the type of basically disdain that a lot of them have toward the general public. And it's almost like they were trained to think that way and believe that way. And then the basics on, just like their oath that they took to take that job. You know what I mean? It's like, they, you know, they constantly follow orders to violate that oath that they took over and over again. I'll have to look that link up. Yeah, I don't know if I'm familiar with that or not, but I'm gonna look it up. But yeah. Oh yeah, thank you, Andy. Yeah, yeah. You guys check out Black Stream with Autumn. She's a good girl, man. She's got a lot of information. Like she tries to get out to everybody. So I mean, and everybody's got a like. For instance, anybody that's like a con. Well, I mean, I only got a couple of mods. Like Indy's like my only mod in there, I think. But anyway, um, you know, but yeah, that's something else too, man. I just got a new phone. I'm on a new phone because my other one, man, it sucks so bad too. I dropped the sucker on a dirt road, on a freaking dirt road, and it cracked the freaking screen all up, dude. I mean, like shattered that sucker. I could not believe it. It was on a freaking dirt road. So I mean, like when I got my check on Friday, first thing I had to do is crank out about close to $200 for another fucking phone and other stuff along with that, like phone card and all that sort of shit. Sucks, man. I hate these damn things. But I have to redo everything too. It's like all the stuff that I had saved and the other one, and all that stuff. I got to redo all that crap. It's a pain in the ass. That reminds me, Indy. I can't remember my email or what email address I used and what password and all that stuff to get in my Discord account. So I can't even remember how to get in my Discord. Kind of sucks ass. I didn't write down all that shit as far as I don't know where if I did write it down where I wrote it down, but I can't figure out what fucking thing I used for the Discord, so I can't even get back in it because I got this other phone. I can't remember the damn. I can't remember if I used my phone number or even if I used my phone number. I still don't remember the damn password I used. So it kind of sucks. Yeah. So that's the reason why I haven't posted anything over there on that thing for like a couple of days. But you know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I can figure out a way to get back in it. I don't know. Well, see, that's the thing. It's like I don't know. I haven't really tried hard. I got to the point where I was trying to get everything fucking back on, and it goes right back to the login scenario. Discord's evil. Well, the only reason I got on it, man, is kind of like to try and share some more information. But I'm more exclusive to YouTube anyway, because I mean, it's better to be simple. So I kind of like there's so much on YouTube, man, to discover, So it's why I go on other social networks. You know what I mean? I just basically, I just basically like post stuff. It's about the only thing I do on Discord anyway. I mean, uh, yeah, I remember you talking about that, Andy. So you got a lot of freaking content in yours, though. That's the thing. And I don't know. So that's the thing, Andy. I'm not. Yeah. I'm gonna stick. Just I'm gonna ride YouTube until the wheels fall off, basically. And I mean, I've been hanging in there for about 8 years, 8, 9 years, or whatever so far. So I'm just like, fuck it. Uh,
6'9", the guy that was with us had Sean, 651. So what I was saying is, he heard you before I did, and I tried what I tried earlier when I had the big signal on you, and I'm on the beam right now, facing to Australia, and you're stronger than on the stick. I mean, hey, Roger. Yeah, it's strange conditions. I don't understand how they're doing that. But, all right, my friend, go back. Like I say, go back talk to Australia there. I thought it was you in there. Just want to jump in and say I can still hear you, Roger. Hey, Possum. No, I ain't talking to Australia. I'm talking to Fort Walton. He's up between us at 651. So I'm going to let him jump in there and holler at you. He's closer to you, okay? Oh, is it 651? Yeah, okay. All right. I apologize for that, 651.
That's all right there, Possum. Good evening time over that way.
Yeah, good evening to you, my friend. I got some noise level coming in here that I didn't have earlier, so I'm not hearing as well as I was earlier today, Roger.
Hey, roger that. Yeah, it's been a pretty rowdy day out here, I suppose. There, Randy, are you on the beam now, or are you on the vertical?
Yeah, Sean. Me and Possum talked about an hour or two ago, and I had about a 6.5 dB on him, pointed to Australia, just like now. And we've never had this strong a signal on one another. So I'm staying on the flat side, pointed to Australia, and I can hear him 3 times better than I can on the vertical.
Are you sure you're on the beam right now, then?
Yes, sir. Here we go. I'm going to switch it. Here we go. Back to the stick.
Huh. That's about the same right there.
So it's phenomenon. If you're hearing me as well, which you shouldn't, then it is phenomenon.
Yeah, phenomenal. Shut up, phenomenal.
Ain't that something there, Positive? Yeah, I can hear you on either one of them. Well, I got 2 pounds of static with the preamp on. Now the preamp is on, Possum. I got the preamp on. When I go to the flat side, I lose all that static, and I don't hear nothing but your voice. It's like 3 to 4 times stronger, you know. All right, Roger. Yeah, and I'm on the flat side right now. Yeah, and Sean's on a shockwave vertical, okay? I should be able to hear him better on vertical. If I go over, I'm going to try it and see. Okay, I'm standing by. Sean, can you hear me any better now?
Oh, hell, that's a lot better.
Oh, yeah, I got you in there real loud now.
Oh, yeah, I should be booming in there, probably 9, 10 over.
Oh, yeah, I got you in there real strong, but I'm not going to be able to hear Randy at all, because when I go here, I got a bunch of noise coming in.
Oh, watch it. Randy, hit him with it.
Come on, Cletus. That's the stick, 20 foot off the ground. Oh, good Lord, man. Come on in here. I just told a story. Yeah, that's why Sean knew. You heard him say, just wait on it, wait on it. Hey, Roger. We've never had conditions as strong between us there, bro. Never have. I can't. I don't know what's happening, but I like it.
Hey, Possum, watch this. Randy, flip back over to your beam.
All right, flat side. Hello. I can still hear you, but nothing like I could on the stick, Roger. Roger.
It is a little lower, but not that much lower than the stick on me.
Yeah, I've got a horrible noise level coming in here right now. Sound like bubbles or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I get that sometimes. I think it's whenever they clean the MRI MRI machine over here sometimes over near the hospital in Fort Walton there. It's all kind of noise whenever I'm down there on AM and everything. Man, it tears me up. It puts me in, it puts my bars all the way across the board there. And it's like a constant, it's a and I'm like, what the hell? And it goes on for a good 30 minutes or so and then disappears.
All right, Roger. Now, I can go off this frequency. It's not on it. I can go channel either up or down, and it's not there. I don't know why it's on this frequency.
That's exactly the same with this sound and everything. It's got to be something to do with the hospital over here. But I always get it on 185 for some reason.
All right, Roger. All right, gentlemen, I'll let y'all get back to your queue. So I'm going to just sit back and listen a minute. I just got through talking to New Zealand over a while ago on 4200, and I was hearing some Australia on this frequency a while ago. So it may come in there in a minute.
Randy said they was in there pretty good there about maybe 20, 30 minutes ago, maybe even longer than that. But he said he had one of them in there at 9 over on him for sure there at one time, I think it was. But here just about maybe 10 minutes ago, we had some over there, 159. He was just barely coming in there. We could hear him, but couldn't make it back to him there.
All right, Roger, on that. All right, my friend, I'm going to be standing by a little bit. Y'all go back to your queue, so.
Hey, boss, I'm up down there now. Now that I got the preamp off, tell me what signal you're getting on me on this 20-foot. I'm 20 foot off the ground, boss. I'm over.
It's bumping between a 4 and a 5, Roger.
Okay, I got you right there too. 4.5, peak and a 5. I just wanted to see, and that's just on the stick, you know. But man, I had that kind of signal on you earlier today, facing the opposite direction. And here's the key: your audio, when I get you on the flat, is tremendous.
Oh, I know. If I go on the flat side with you, it's way up there.
Well, it's good to see you yesterday, man, and the wife, and always good to see you, Possum. Next time, I won't forget when you come around the corner and eyeball me like that. I'll know who it is. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I said, watch this. I'm still gonna make him nervous.
You didn't make me nervous. It was like my mind's going, okay, Randy, what's his name? What's his name? And I get embarrassed when I can't remember people's name, Possum.
I stay embarrassed. I can't remember my name half the time.
Right. Well, it sure is good. I wish Wayne would get in here. Doggone, I don't hear him as much since he moved his stuff to the shack. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Roger. Well, you know, he's got his ticket. He's probably down there on 10 liters or something.
Oh, he done already got his ticket for the 10 meter?
Yeah, well, he got his general, I think, today.
No, he didn't. He got his technician today.
Or technicians today, that's right.
Roger.
Hey, good evening, Possum. OWT 113 down here.
Well, yeah, I got you in there.
Yeah, Roger. I'm trying to swing the beam on you to get you pinpointed.
All right, Roger, you're on the flat side on that beam, right?
No, it's a vertical side.
Okay, I'm vertical, but man, you just ain't gonna believe the noise I got coming in here. It's getting worse by the minute.
Roger, worse by the minute. Well, I need to hear that. God, why is that?
All right, let's go to 375.
All right, or how about 274200?
Okay, we can go to 4200. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir, 4200. Let's see if you got noise there. Randy, can you go to 4200?
Roger.
IQSY to 274200.
clear over here, man. I can hear all kinds of stuff now.
Okay, well, shit, man. I'm glad you can hear me.
Oh, yeah, I can hear all y'all. I'm just trying to pull everybody out of that noise. I mean, I can hear y'all, but that noise, it's horrendous. But right here, there's nothing on this one. It's quiet.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, I was just, which way you got the house pointed, to the east or to the west?
I'm actually pointed a little bit southwest. I was just looked up there, but pretty much west, and I'm on the vertical side, Roger.
Roger, swing back around. Go due west and see what it looks like, because I've got you in there, but I don't have any signal on you.
I might be on you now a little bit better, Roger.
Yeah, you're moving my needle now. At least I got you up to swinging 2 pounds.
All right, Roger. Yeah, I got it moved. I'm a little bit off on this thing up there. Let me look at it again. Hold on just a second.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit to the northwest of you, because you're going to be swinging around, because I'm north of Pensacola. I'm not like downtown or nothing. I'm up in Cantonment area.
All right, Roger, on that. Okay, I kind of split the middle with all y'all down there. I think I can still hear all y'all good right now.
Yeah, Roger. Randy, you got a good copy on him down there?
Yeah, I can hear him. He dropped off 2 sheriffs down.
God, I got Randy in there 20 over. Are you on the stick?
Roger.
I'll text Wayne and let him know where we're at.
Okay, Roger on that, yeah. Matter of fact, the guys in Texas texted me a while ago. I don't know if we could hear them out there, but I tried it on this one, and I heard him one time, and that was it. And it was so faint, and we texted back and forth and said, well, there ain't going to be no conditions tonight out that way. I did talk to him last night.
Hey, Sean, how much did he drop off on you, buddy?
I wasn't paying attention. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can bring it back up so a little bit stronger. I'm not running wide open, Roger.
No, that ain't no problem. We can hear you. When you move towards 211, you were, 5, and now you're a 3. But the audio is fine. Like you said, it's quieter up here, and you can probably hear us just as good now, right?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you better, way better. It's just that, I don't know what it is over there. It's just a non-stop racket.
Hey, Roger. Yeah. Did I drop off about 2 units on you, Possum?
Yeah, you dropped off actually about 3 on me.
Roger. Yeah, that's the difference between a beam and like I said, this thing's only 20 feet off the ground. That's why I bought that pole. I'm gonna put that horizontal up higher, and then I'm gonna probably I got a new vertical in here, and I'm gonna go and try to get it up like 60.
Oh, that'll be perfect. You get up that high, you'll absolutely enjoy the fire out of it.
Right, yeah. I mean, since the conditions are the way they are and they're going to get better, it don't matter what you put in there. In a couple of years, you can talk on a coat hanger.
Yeah, I'm only up about 48 foot. Maybe 43 foot, somewhere in there. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not even 50 foot there.
Roger, I'm not 50. Yeah, and that's tell me again, is that a 4-element?
Yeah, that's that 4-element shooting star.
Roger. Ain't that what 6'9's got, Sean?
And what?
A 4-element shooting star. Ain't that what 6'9's got in the box over his house?
I'm not sure what he's got over there.
Yeah, that's a Mako, right, Possum?
Yeah, that's right. That's a Mako. Pretty much the same thing as the older model. Let me think what the name of them were.
Wilson.
Possum? Wilson? Yes, sir. It was a Wilson started off, then it turned into Mako. All right, Roger. Well, I'm trying to think of the name of that other four-element, what everybody called it. Doggone, I hate when that happens. I know the name of that thing like I'm sitting here.
Moonraker.
That's it. I told you I knew it when y'all told me. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. The only thing different in it is the way it's mounted to the mast.
I tell you what, you want to see a difference in a signal and everything? Let me turn this box off.
All right, come on.
All right, how about now? Can you still hear me?
Oh yeah, I still got you in there, but it makes a difference, doesn't it?
How much difference?
Oh, you just dropped that. I can hear you. I turned mine off. That's just the radio right there.
Roger, how much difference did it make?
I'm getting a 1.5 to a 2 when it bumps up there a little bit on it.
All right, Randy's going to get coffee. What was I giving you before?
Oh, you got to do it again. I don't forgot. Hey, Possum, Wayne's headed out to the shack. Okay.
All right, right there is before. Audio.
Yeah, you jumping up there to about a 5, a little bit over a 5.
And then right there, what do you got?
That should be with about a 2, 2.5 to somewhere in there.
All right, I can even go lower than that. I can get it down there. I don't even know if you'll be able to still hear me if I turn it too far down.
I can hear you, but you're not moving anything right there.
All right, right there is the highest the radio will go. Just a radio, straight radio.
Hey, Roger. Well, I was doing 65 watts out of the radio. I could do more than that, but I got her backed off running that box there, Roger.
Yeah, that's about how I am. What radio are you running?
I run that Yazoo 991A.
Okay. Yeah, I'm running that Quad 6 Anytone.
Yeah, man, that thing sounds great.
Yeah, it's one of those radios you can't really put a power mic on it. That actually, if you put a power mic on this, for some reason, the radio actually lowers the audio for some reason. I don't know if it has an impedance mismatch or something when you put a power mic on this thing.
All right, Roger. That's everything this will do right there. I'm running it max hard, and I'm going to back it back down.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, if I did that with my box on it, it would sound a little off. Like right there, that might be messing a little something. I don't know if you can tell any difference.
Hey, Roger. I run 100 watts into it, and I'm back down to 75 now.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, I didn't see any difference, though. That didn't sound tight or anything. Mine might start sounding tight right about there.
Hey, Roger. Well, doggone, it sounds good. I know that.
I appreciate it.
Hey, Possum, this is about all I got. I don't have anything to run with this radio. It's just straight barefoot. All right, Roger. Well, I got you in there. Fine. No problem. I can hear you good. Yeah, I'm working on it. You know, this antenna, it's really, I'm always disappointed when I'm talking to you because it doesn't seem to do better than I think it should do. But then when I'm shooting DH with it, oh my God, it's just like it comes alive. Hey, Roger. Well, when you gonna put a box behind that thing? I'm working on it. I really am. I had a nice 667 and it died, so there you go. Oh yeah, well, I knock on wood. I hope mine don't die, cause it'll be a while before I get another one. Well, that's what I'm saying, you know, and I'm just like, okay, don't have any more money for radio equipment, so I'm just running this like it is, and just, you know, doing what I can do, I guess. But hopefully Wayne's made it in there by now. 211, are you around yet? Hey, I'm doing some listening there. Some people call sandbagging. There he is. Y'all jump on him. Yeah, he must be on the flat side. Wayne, you want a flat or go vertical, Wayne? The point towards Boston and Panama City. No, all right. Well, let's see. I'm on the vertical side there now, Boston. Let me switch over. We're all vertical. All right. How about it, Possum? Oh, yeah, I got you in there. Kind of down low on me there. Wayne, I know that flat side makes a difference, but I got you in there, Roger. Yeah, I'm on the flat side there. I'm not throwing much at you there. The old conditions don't sound too good there. Go ahead. Oh, yeah. I've been talking to all them guys tonight. It's pretty good tonight right now. Well, that's good. That's real good there. Yeah, let me just let me turn the radio on then, or just by itself, and see if that does anything. You on the flat side or vertical? Oh, no, I'm on the vertical right now. What are you on? Yeah, I'm vertical. So I was just making sure. Yeah, boys, I know what I am. I'm over on the, well, let me see here. Yeah, I'm on that, on the #1 position. Best I can tell, that's what it is. Go ahead. All right, Roger. Okay. Well, just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I got you in there fine, Roger. Yeah, you're running barefooted too, ain't you? No, sir. I'm running almost everything I got at you. Oh, okay. You say you are running everything? Pretty much, yeah. I can go just a tad more, but it ain't gonna make no difference. I doubt it. No, I don't need nothing else. I hear you good. There ain't no problem at all there. Yeah, it's I was just listening there for a little bit before I jumped in there, before I got invited in there, and yeah, it was it didn't sound all that strong, but I guess just one of them nights. Go ahead. Hey, Roger, I'm able to talk to 101 better than I've ever been able to talk to him tonight. He's in there. Hey, Roger, yeah, I might have had a beam right on you there. We made a little adjustment. We'll let that stand for a while and make sure, yeah, as long as we can get to you there. Well, did you have a good day over in Panama City? Oh, yes, sir, I did. It was a beautiful day out today. We piddled around in the yard some and had my granddaughter over here, and I fixed her something to eat, and she was tickled to death. And we just messed around here. I've been on the radio quite a bit today. I got on the mobile a little bit, and I talked a little DX here and there. I tell you what, it seemed like everything kind of busted loose towards later in the evening there. It was coming in from everywhere. I mean, yeah, I was riding down the road and I could talk to Nova Scotia and talk to Puerto Rico at the same time. Go ahead. Yeah, me and Andrew had some weird skip today too. It was all over the place. Yeah, I know he did, because I was listening. I couldn't hear him. But I could hear the people he was talking to, and I tried to get that fellow in Nova Scotia to do a little relay to Andrew there, but I think I got that text that Andrew sent, and he was telling me that, or telling you, or whoever he directed it at, that it was some crazy conditions. Go ahead. Oh yeah, he was. I'm gonna step back just a little bit. There's about three or four in there talking, and I don't want to hog it up, Roger.
All right, well, we'll do the same, man. Yeah, let everybody get them a chance to talk over in your neck of the woods. Sound like y'all always been getting active there for a while. But anyway, we'll take a stand by and let somebody else get in there and enjoy it. I don't know where we're going.
What's up, popcorn?
Good as always. And of course, Possum down there. I hadn't heard Andrew. Is Andrew gone to bed already, Possum, or what?
He's probably taking care of his wife tonight. I'm not, or he would have probably got on here, Roger.
Okay, well, good thing he's there to take care of her, no doubt. But, all right, well, shit, man, I gotta go grab me something to drink real quick. This other fella's in there waiting. I think we'll do roll call here in a second. Yeah, I hear you. I hear the roll call, man. Yeah, hey, well, one, you out there? Well, I know 651 here. I think it's 651 over in Fort Walton. Yeah, we got to play eyeball on you there yesterday, I guess it was, Sean.
Hey, I'm back, y'all. I went to key the mic and I had my coffee cup in my hand, and I'm like, I hit the pedal, but I didn't have no mic in my hand.
Oh, wait, hell, isn't it?
Hey, it is. No, I just didn't feel right when you said you had called Wayne to go come out to the shack. In honor of Mr. Wayne, I had to go get some juice of the bean, and that's just how I am.
Man, you didn't say that because you like it. Yeah, I know you like that juice of the bean there. I don't want. Yeah, I hope you ain't got some anyway tonight. You'll be laying up there with them eyes popped open there.
Well, I do pretty good. It don't seem to affect me like that. Just a kidney thing or whatever. I mean, that ride back, Wayne, we had to stop 4 times for me. They only had to go twice. I had to go 4. I can't hold it anymore, brother.
Oh, I imagine. I had to stop one time too, and that's kind of rare for me. But yeah, I didn't drink nothing. But I probably 2 or 3 cups. Get your what? Get my pool all filled up. You know what I mean? It's about that time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Put a splitter on that meter box, get that free water.
You know, I drain that pool every winter because ain't no use leaving water in it. You know what I mean? So, I gotta fill it up now. Weather's getting just right.
Well, you get away with that if you're not in a real low water level area. I've seen people do that in their pools when they float up out the ground.
Roger, this is above ground, but it's a cement pool above ground.
Hell, yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's nice. It's not big. It's 10 by 12 on the inside. It's about 4 foot deep. It's got your benches in there. You know, I got everything set up. It's heated, outdoor television, outdoor fire, all that. So I'm all set for that, you know.
Hell, yeah. That's how you relax. Sitting around the pool. Instead of a heated too, huh?
Yeah, see, well, I don't have to end up going to bars. Of course, I'm married, so, you know, and we don't kind of interchange, so, you know, I just set everything out here to where, you
know, me and her can have a good time and not worry about it. Got a barbecue grill out there the whole night. Don't forget the alcohol.
I know you're right. It saves you a little bit of money and headache. It's just what's wild is going on at the bars nowadays.
It is. And then maybe once every 2 months or something, we'll go out to eat, maybe go up to Port Walton there, hit a few bars, and have a blast.
There you go.
But it still saves a lot of money and a lot of headaches, you know?
Yeah, you don't have to take that taxi back. You have to go pick up the vehicle anymore.
Hope it's there. I'm just worried Biden's gonna try to compensate everything I got.
Well, you know he is. He's going to give it to the people that don't work.
Well, you know, you better talk to your president about that now. He's the opposite. He wants to give everything away.
I didn't vote for the president, for this guy. I voted for someone else. That's my vote didn't count. I mean, what the hell happened? Everybody out there now is trying to pretend they didn't vote for Biden. Seeing all these gas prices. Like, they know what they did.
You know, I met more people that's voted for Trump than Biden. I only met like 2 or 3 people that's actually voted for Biden. And they're totally fucked. They don't give a shit. We don't care what's going on. We just don't like the way Trump speaks. So that's why we voted for Biden. They're assholes. They don't give a shit. President history.
Listen to them.
They know their snowman.
I can't stand to hear him talk on something everywhere. The rest of the world's just laughing at him. To hear him speak.
Well, we'll see what happens here. I hope we're going to be around. Did they know their snowman? Waving there, rerun, waving. Sounding good out there tonight. I turned my house around so I ain't got to get the other ones over yonder. Break. Sure. Shoot, no man, when I turn these beans towards the front of you, the one on the back of it, I can't hear nobody on the back side. Can you hear me on the back side? No, I can't hear you on the back side because I'm pointing in the front side corner. I'm pointing right at you. So when you're pointing the opposite direction, you can't hear me? No. Well, I'll tell you what, that beam's working good. Oh, I ain't done with them yet. I ain't done with these beams yet.
Where'd you go, Ted Boy?
I'm just listening.
No, man, I'm going to try to find me a 500-watt box now and run behind you.
Good CBS has got something good to say other than all that negativity.
What?
I know you right.
Praise him.
Praise him.
Praise him.
Be healed, my brother.
Well, you just find yourself a box there and you'll have it made, no doubt, rerun.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find me a 500-watt box, and I believe I got it done.
Well, what are you running right now?
Black Widow DX250.
I wouldn't even waste your money. I'd stick with what you got right there. That thing's doing the trick. You can get to me, no fucking problem. How you turning that rotor?
Yeah, I got a Black Widow DX250. That's all, and the SWR is a 1-to-1 on these things.
I can whip being pointed over here. Right, you're on that.
That's nice, man. It's by the competition somewhere else.
Just press that noise bouncer button, and I know he's gonna hear it.
There's no man, I'm gonna turn my house Well, yeah, he can't.
Check out them channels, Rerun. Check them out. That's what I do, back and forth, no doubt. Have yourself a blast, man.
What you got going on this evening, Double O?
Man, believe it or not, I just woke up.
I believe it.
Yeah, I just woke up from a nice little 2-hour nap myself.
Shit, Double Us probably went to the refrigerator. I got himself a Colt 45. But he's saying nothing now, is he? Double Us.
Uh-oh, you got to pump it up, Snowman.
Yeah, pump it up. You just sweet time. Pump it up, pump it up, pump it up.
Did you miss me, hot
Smoking.
You don't want to hear me, well, why you gonna point them beans over here? Well, this talk.
He wants to get in on that sweet time. He wants to be mean, but he wants to be in that sweet time. It don't work that way.
He'll have to pump it up if he wants to talk over you. You just shut him right down.
I don't know. All I do is I'm just little old mud duck out here in the Blackwater Forest. Quiet out there. Right. Old Dirty Deals and Dirty Deals Junior over there.
Yeah, I got 30 pounds on the strip, man.
Tell Lord, spit my beer out.
30 pounds on the dread neck. Gonna see it that red stuff.
Now that's what I call super sweet time.
Oh, yeah.
There he goes, making threats again over government regulated airways.
I was always out there making threats.
Yeah, we're having a good, sweet time talking about our favorite president, Joe Biden. He's going to go in there and start making threats.
I don't know what the hell's wrong with that boy. That boy ain't right.
That boy ain't right. You ain't right, boy. Turn them beans back around so you ain't got to listen to us. You can get them feelings hurt. Yeah, it's almost like he turns them beans so he can get emotion. Yeah. Poor boy. He don't know no better. keeping his mind off the darkness.
Yeah, easy up. They turned this motherfucker down fast. Yeah, that's the story about how his road was there. I'm gonna burn up another rotor. Burn up another rotor running around in circles all day. That's how I operate. I run around in circles all day. My name's Hot Rod, and I'm a retard.
Just a swinging. Yeah, jawbreaker.
That's right, Traveler. You're an asshole. You're an asshole, Traveler.
The fuck you, jawbreaker.
That motherfucker don't even know who he's talking to.
Oh my God, that's the funniest shit. Hey, we're just trying to get on your level. Come on, big boy. They go bad. They go CB, always better. They gonna whoop all three of our asses.
We gotta figure out which one he's talking to first.
I bet you are, Hot Rod. I bet you are, Hot Rod.
You said you're a queer, Hot Rod?
He said he got two of them on speed dial.
I don't care what kind of orientation you got there, Hot Rod, but I don't want to hear about your sucking dick on the radio. That's just nasty.
Yeah, this is 2022. We can accept it, but I mean, we ain't gotta hear about it.
I've been hearing stuff about y'all too for a whole fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah, Hot Rod, we was having a good conversation till you came in there.
That's just schizophrenic or something. He's hearing voices now. Let's see when he gets this feedback. Oh, we called it Hot Rod.
I need to get a job, bitch. You need to get a job. Stop collecting them retard checks. I work my ass off day, work 12 hours a day. What do you do today? Fucking dick. Hey, you gonna work first thing in the morning, start sucking dick that early? Oh, thank you. That's the nice thing you ever said to me.
Well, it is nice thing to say.
I know it, man. You can't help yourself, but that's all we trying to do too, talk on the CB radio. You ain't gotta hog it all to yourself and just be a bully to everybody you hear. Ain't you supposed to be going to church, Hot Rod? You gave your life to Jesus. That's what you said last week.
What was he doing going sucking dick on a Sunday morning? Jesus wouldn't be. Jesus wouldn't approve of that. You got somewhere to be on Sunday morning.
Yeah, Jesus wants to be on your knees, praising Him, not sucking dick for radio equipment.
Yeah, Jesus wants you on your knees, praying to Him, not on your knees praying for radio equipment.
Yeah, he's sucking that dick for more radio equipment.
You know what? I ain't got to find no radio equipment. I ain't got to find none of that stuff no more, man. I know. I ain't got to find nothing. That's what we said.
Yeah, that's what we said. You got your sugar daddy you suck on for radio equipment. He's not good. Call it a God, man. That's nasty. You nasty, Rod. That's what's sucking that dick.
Yeah, at least call it a hobby.
Well, I tell you what, I'll boss this fucking roller, and I'll boss this damn. They were going to say they didn't have to find them.
Y'all don't know what that shit is, so y'all still working this street behind the rope. Y'all
Can you imagine the picture of that hot red flag? Oh, hot rod. He's a virgin, except when it comes to that booty hole, he's going to pour out more time. Oh, hot rod, quit sucking dick for radio equipment, man. Get a job. Quit being nasty.
What's up, UK Transparency? What's up?
I know you get on here, ruin some good old boys talking. We just trying to talk, you know, after a long day of work. Just trying to have a conversation. My friend, you got to get on there and start threatening people, being a bully. That ain't a job, Rob. You might be getting paid for it from the old man, but that ain't a job. Well, let me ask you, what's the old man? What's the old man's name? You know, Daddy Dirty Dick.
You don't know his name? Hell, you've been sucking his dick.
Tell me what his name is. Tell me where he lives at.
You're the one that knows all that, man. You're the one over there every day. We don't know nothing about that. Just keep bragging about it for some reason.
Every goddamn day. Every goddamn day. You can't shut up about it. We just trying to talk about Joe Biden and the struggle of the working man, and you're over here being a bully. Hey, break channel.
Come on, Blake.
Yeah, listen, I did a little adjustment over here. How's this thing sounding out there? Anything good or what? Hello.
Yeah, I think it's sounding good, man. I like it.
Roger. Yeah, it sounds good.
it's a dirty neck too. About the same, maybe a little louder. Come back.
Yeah, it's a little bit louder. That needle's staying over there a little more instead of swinging back like it was.
A little bit louder.
Yes, sir. I like it.
Well, I guess I'll keep it right about there then. It's on the low side.
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
Sounds sweet.
Yeah, no kidding.
Should have gone.
Yeah, you gotta have that
That's
stuff there,
that 16 pill.
just in case, man. Just in case. There, UK transparency.
You done being a big old bully, hot rod? You gonna let us have some sweet time? We'll just talk over you if you don't. See, we're some respectful seafood. We let you have your say, even though it's nothing but hate. Even though Jesus wouldn't like all that hate in his name that you be talking. We'll just talk over you. You have to bounce up and down in Daddy's lap to be able to afford that rotor. I got two fucking rotors. What? You want one? You ain't getting none. I ain't gonna get damn thing, fella. I ain't gonna, you ain't riding shit with me. I ain't doing a damn thing. Hey, you don't need a rotor when you got a Wilson 5000 on the ground plate. Come on.
Yeah, that's all right.
So you saying it's not worth anything? Oh, well, it's settled then, traveler. No more drama.
That's right. I guess they don't want it after all. They done threatening to kill people over it, and then they turn around and say, they don't want that thing. Let it, man.
I don't want that garbage. Oh, shit.
That's right.
That's right. You eating them words, ain't you, Ron?
Well, it'd be nice if you believed what you were saying, but you such a dirty bill, you lie to yourself on the radio.
Yeah, you just out there listening and start drama over apparently worthless antenna. Your words, your own words. I just told you I ain't gonna say it. Yeah, you will. I do not care about that antenna. That antenna ain't mine. That's between 347 and 2. Why don't you just stay the fuck out of it? You're the one that keeps coming on here and interrupting our sweet time. That ain't good. Gotta come and try to ruin it. Mildly inconveniences.
Imagine you can't record. He is recording.
I know you right. Sweet. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, go get that thing.
Yeah, go get on them knees and stretch some more.
Maybe he might be able to speak over us.
I doubt it.
Gotta try harder. Suck that golf ball out of that water hose. You keep on sucking, you might get it one day.
Yeah, you start hard enough, you might get a new radio.
Oh, queer ass faggot over there. Yeah, what you playing, them recordings back? Them old ham radio stitching?
It ain't nothing but a snitch. Queer ass snitch, Top Rod.
Yeah, record this dick.
Yeah, queer sometimes you a snitch.
This sounds like some sweet time to me. You caught me. You caught me trying to have some sweet time.
That old Forest Parkway cocksucker over there snitching.
About time those cows come alive again.
That's right.
I know you right. Double off. Where's your real wheel? About like it did last night, huh? Yeah, you doing alright. Did you leave them on? Or you probably had to cut them off, didn't you? Or change channels on. Well, I shut them down and turned them back on, shoot, about an hour, 2 hours ago, something like that. Is it quiet over there on them tonight? Yeah, super quiet. It's real quiet over here tonight. I had that other one on too a while ago. It's quiet everywhere right now. Well, you better be careful over there in Florida. They go crazy down there in Panama City. Oh, well, you know what we do this time of the year? All that spring break crap going on down there. All them dopers and drunks and everything else down there. How long will that, does that last, 2 weeks? Hell, might gotta go on down there for another month or so. Let's see, what is March, April, probably wind up about May or so, then the family just start start going down there for vacation and stuff. So that's crazy. Them devils crazy down there. But anytime you get to hanging out in the devil's pit, that's what you're going to get. Somebody got shot. And boy said somebody was shooting down there, and they bunch of blacks tore up the Walmart. They're rioting or something down there. Well, as long as they keep it down there, I don't care. I don't bring it uphill. Well, I wonder why the blacks started rioting down in Florida. Hell, it don't make no damn sense. Ain't nobody down there racing. Somebody probably done something, pissed one of them off. And I damn well know Walmart ain't racing. Yeah, they want everybody's money. Yeah, sign of the times, Mike, that's all it is. It's gonna get worse too before it gets better. I reckon we better load our damn gun. I sure wish I could afford one or two. More? I just have to use old slingshot.
Wolfman waving a hand to everybody.
Well, I know, Wolfman. Look here, 903, we'll hit him in the head with a stick. Be like old sling blades, sharp mill a lawnmower blade. Old geyser blade. What do you think there, Wolfman? Waving back at you, brother.
Hey, just shoot the boofers and get them out of the misery. They're suffering.
Hell, the bullets cost too much to shoot them with it. Good evening there, Mr. Wolfman.
Hey, Sue Eric, how you doing?
Well, I can't fuss too bad. I'm still hanging in you, all right?
Yeah, you ain't won the lottery yet, have you?
No, not yet. I sure wish I could. Well, did you win that amplifier, Mike? I didn't hear you. I was eating the cookie. Yeah, but did you win that amplifier? I know you bought some chances on it. I don't know what in the world you said. Something about it all run together to me. Did you see what? Did you see what he said, Wolfman?
No, I didn't understand it.
He said, did you win the amplifier? Did you know you bought tickets? his name didn't win either, because he didn't say nothing to me. Good evening there, Mr. Earthquake. Good evening, Mr. 903. Evening, Maniac, and Evening Wolfman. Hello. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, 903. I couldn't see what you were saying. You ought to share that mess you smoking. That's too good. You believe that earthquake? You won't even share. I know. Well, that's some folks just that way. Yeah, I ain't got no bad stuff, so I can't share this good stuff.
Uh-huh.
I've been in here fiddling in this room a little bit today, and that's about it. That's how come I got aggravated with nobody come on out here. Hey, y'all wait about the time to go to sleep. Come in here. I heard you ate cowboy in there before dark. Yeah, why didn't you say something, by God? Go down on my mobile out there. Scratching. What'd you do today? Very little. Near about nothing. I was kind of getting worried about you. Hell, you ain't even keyed up much today. I'm like, damn, I'm ready 903. Tow up everything over there. Well, you finally find your remote there, earthquake? Yeah, look at her house. Didn't do me no good. The damn motor's gone out. Damn it, man. I'm glad I left it a little ways up there. I hear you. Well, at least it's some ways up there, right? I got another one of them brand new damn winches over here. You probably got one of them old hand cranks over there. Hell, he wouldn't use that. He gave me a hand crank. He wouldn't use that if he had that. I got another one of them winches like he's got that I ain't using right now.
Well, you guys, I am your host, the
I'm not
1122
doing them things.
Wingnut Radio, out here for Anarchy Television.
Shit, I can't beat that.
And I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream. I got some shit to do, but you never know. You might see me in another chat, comment on another video. I float around all over YouTube, so I'll see you guys on the flip. 1122 Wingnut, back out.